Janis Joplin was born January 19, 1943 in a small oil refinery town called Port Arthur, Texas. Her parents, Seth and Dorothy Joplin, were a simple working-class family. Janis would later have two sisters, making her the oldest of three. Early in her childhood, Janis's parents saw her artistic talent and encouraged her to cultivate her gift. Growing up in a small town, Janis joined the local choir and began falling in love with classic blues music. At the age of 14, Janis became what you would call an outcast. Her only retreat became music and art. She attended Jefferson High School but was shunned for being different. However, she did meet a group of boys who allowed her to participate in their clique. They introduced her to many different types of music, and from then on out, that was all she thought about. By the age of 18, Janis was playing in bars and clubs all over Houston. Janis graduated from Jefferson High School and attended the University of Texas. School was not her passion, and she dropped out in 1963 to pursue her musical career. Janis, 18 years old at the time, hitchhiked all the way to California with dreams of making it big. Janis was rebellious and played a big part in the women's liberation movement. After 2 years in California, Janis reached her breaking point. She was drinking her favorite drink, Southern Comfort, and using amphetamines daily. She had become addicted to the rock and roll lifestyle. To recover from her addictions, Janis moved back to Port Arthur and re-enrolled in college. She was not content and could not forget the taste she had gotten for life in California. Within a year, Janis returned back to California. When Janis returned in 1966, she joined Big Brother and the Holding Company. The band's big break came after their performance at the Monterey Pop Festival. Cass Elliot, a record producer, commented, "Wow, that's heavy," after hearing Janis's performance. Their album, which was released in 1968, was said to be very emotional and raw, making Janis Joplin one of the leading musicians in the late 1960s. Due to the extreme drug usage and heavy partying, the band played their last show on Christmas Day, 1968. In August 1969, Janis played at the Woodstock Festival in Bethel, New York. The crowd was mesmerized by her trademark raspy voice. Janis was a star. Her solo album was entitled Pearl because that was the nickname she was commonly called. The album's biggest hit was Me and Bobby McGee, which was a cover of Chris Christopherson's song. Sadly, Janis was unable to enjoy the success of her first solo album, and after being clean for almost a year, Janis relapsed and overdosed on October 4, 1970. After a recording session for the album, Janis retreated back to her room at the Landmark Hotel in Hollywood, California, where she overdosed on an abnormally pure amount of heroin. Chris Christopherson, Janis's former lover and friend, commented that he absolutely was sure Janis's death was not a suicide. Some still speculate that it was. Janis was 27 years old when she died and became a member of the infamous 27 Club, a group of musicians who all fatally died at the age of 27. The club includes names such as Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, and Janis's close friend Jimi Hendrix. John Lennon received Janis's last full recording after she died. He said it was tragic, yet beautiful. Janis was cremated in the Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery in Westwood, California. Her remains were spread in the Pacific Ocean. The funny thing is that Janis drew up her will spontaneously a year before her death. Even though Janis Joplin is dead, her spirit lives on. Many movies have been made mirroring Janis's life. One in particular was The Rose, which was released in 1979, starring Bette Midler, who scored an Academy Award nomination for her role. Janis was also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995 and also received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Janis Joplin may have died too early but the music and mark that she made will never be forgotten. Janis Joplin is one of my favorite artists whose music captivates my soul and strikes my curiosity. No other voice is that of Janis Joplin's. She is in her own category of music.